Hey there guys, I am SonicGhost and welcome back to some more Let's Play Splatoon 2 Octo expansion. Last time, we made our way further down the eye line and we unlocked ourselves another line with one of the 4 things. We could get one of those 4 things, or we can finish up the eye line here with our last level. You all ready for this? It's the Toastmaster Station. So here we have a choice of 1 of 3 weapons. The Jet Squelcher with a Curling Bomb, Rapid Blaster Pro and a Splat Bomb, and the Octo Brush with a Burst Bomb. I'm going to go ahead and start off with the recommended weapon here, the Jet Squelcher and Curling Bomb. The tactical weapon known as the Octo Oven has been given an Inferno upgrade. You should be able to attack from below if you make good use of your weapon's range. When attacking from the ground, be sure to have an escape route in mind. Take care out there. Let's go ahead and begin the test. It's the extra delicious Octo Oven XXL. We got the same oven at home. Even with the deadly octopuses on it. I bet the bread is super stale. I agree, because it took me a little bit longer to get to this DLC than planned, so a couple years stale at this point. That'd be fine, right? Let's go ahead and climb up the bread. Now, this is a boss returning from the single-player campaign here in Splatoon 2. This is the first boss that you fight in that campaign. But the big difference here is now he has enemies on top. So this is how this boss fight becomes a lot harder. These enemies we want to definitely take out as soon as we can here because they're shooting down at us. Take out the one with the balloon to give yourself an extra power. In this case, we get ourselves a set of ink armor. So we're going to go ahead and grab that before we do damage to the main tentacle here. Go ahead and grab our power. Let's go ahead and shoot the main tentacle and be very careful with the enemies around us. Smooth like butter. That takes care of hit 1. Now, after the first hit, this boss gets a lot more fierce and gets some extra attacks. Want to be careful here because there's a lot of stuff around us that can do damage. Is that kiwi jam? If you don't stop this thing soon, the floor is going to be a gooey mess. Why? Because of all that kiwi jam. Be careful of all the kiwi jam here because it do a lot of damage. Let the bread come out trying to attack me. At this point, we also got sprinklers on the walls here. We want to be careful about those. Here, we want to go ahead and take care of our big enemy because doing so, he will drop an extra power. I'm going to go ahead and use my ink armor now so we don't take any extra damage. Shoot the main tentacle in the center. And with that, we're done with hit 2. Crisp. To go on to our third and final hit. Just like before, this boss is going to get a lot more fierce, introducing more enemies and even more attacks. Quick, get rid of those splash walls that are in the way. Let's go ahead, and at this point, be very, very careful here, because we got things shooting us at all angles. We also have a jet of ink following us, so we got to keep on moving. Use your curling bombs to your advantage here, and get a move on. You do not want to get stuck behind any ink in this area, because simply put, one wrong move in the section, and you will be killed in an instant. Here we got some ink walls in our way, so we want to go ahead and destroy those whenever we can, because we're going to need to climb up here eventually. So let's go ahead and shoot things while we have that chance. I'll go ahead and refill my ink a little bit and now climb up the side of the bread here so we can get to the top. I'm going to be very careful with these snipers as they can easily hit us before we can hit them. I'll climb up to the top, take care of the main tentacle before the snipers notice us, and with that, it is done. The boss is defeated. It's delish. It's the delish, baby! We passed the Toastmaster Station. And we're not done yet because we have 2 more weapons we gotta beat the boss with. Man, if only it was easy enough for me to not go back with multiple weapons, but I can't help myself. But with that, we complete the eye line, which means we complete a set of mem cakes. Well now, have you finished up a third set? May wonders never cease. I see you know the way through this thick, old carapace right to my heart. Sure, I definitely know the way to your heart, and I'm not just doing things unnecessarily because I like doing things unnecessarily. Let's go with that one. Well, this full set tells an interesting story, doesn't it? One good turn deserves another. Try this on for size when you reach the promised land. We got ourselves a pair of Neo Octoling boots, a piece of equipment we can use once we get to Inkopolis. Remember, an octopus without a dream is just a bottom feeder. My dream is to get to Inkopolis so I can wear those boots. It's a good dream. One day I'll make that a reality. Before we head back into our Toastmaster Station, let's take a look at that mem cake we just got. It's Marie, the other of the two squid sisters from the Splatoon series. The tide goes out and take the light. How will I greet you when we meet? It keeps me up on ink-stained nights. I don't want to know about your ink-stained nights. That just sounds bad. Either way, here's Marie. This is based off of her design here in the single-player campaign of Splatoon 2 with her nice old Kimono here and her umbrella. Although the umbrella makes it look more like a big old lime. The design doesn't really have the stick. And it just engulfs her whole body, so that's just Marie Lime. I hope this thing tastes like a lime, otherwise, missed opportunity. Let's head back to the Toastmaster Station to complete this with another weapon. Back again at Toastmaster, let's go ahead and pick the Rapid Blaster Pro and Splat Bomb. Okay, Sea Cucumber looked a little flattened there, but as soon as he saw me pick the weapon, he's like, alright, time to not flatten myself. I don't think I've ever seen him do that pose before. Interesting. But let's just go ahead and get to the boss fight. At this point, we don't need to see these cutscenes anymore, and luckily, after you do a thing, at least once here in Octo Expansion, you can start skipping cutscenes, so we'll just immediately skip this set cutscene. Here we want to get as close to the boss as we can, because the Rapid Blaster Pro, it has pretty good range, but compared to something like, I don't know, the Jet Squelcher, this thing doesn't have as much range, so we're going to need to be very careful for first set shots here. Also, even though this thing says rapid in the name, it's really not that fast. Kind of made this complaint already with the said weapon type. There's definitely faster blasters, like the Clash Blaster, for example, and that would have been a nice weapon to have here instead, but hey, this thing has good range, so that's better than nothing. Take out the sprinkler here, see if we can hit the enemies from down here. Maybe get one of our powers. Careful that bomb, we do not want to get hit. Okay, this guy's going rogue. Gonna activate my ink armor now before we die. Oh, okay, that's close. Luckily, ink armor here will protect us from instantly dying when we lose all of our other armor, so we want to keep that in mind and keep the armor around until we absolutely need it. Go ahead and grab ourselves the other special here, which is the Stingray. If we want to go ahead and use this for phase 3, because it's going to be way harder to aim at things with this said Rapid Blaster. Immediately pulling it out here so we can attack things. Hopefully we can get these snipers taken care of right away. And at this point, we gotta just move because I have no armor and I'm slow as molasses. We have Splat Bombs this time around, so we can't use these to our advantage to move our way through this level really, really fast. So unfortunately for me, this could be a problem. Okay, that was cutting it too close. Hiding my ink for a second makes the boss kind of forget where you are, so we need to use that to our advantage at times too. This guy gets confused, you're not on the map for all that long. Take care of the sprinklers here. Last thing, shooting down ink. At this point, let the guy come out to me so we can climb up the bread. Go ahead, shoot the side of the bread here, climb up the extra side here, take care of this ink wall, and now shoot the main tentacle to finish up this boss fight. Overall, Rapid Blaster really isn't that much harder to fight this guy with. Jet Squelcher is definitely the way to go here, but with Rapid Blaster, things are still pretty doable. But there's one more weapon left for us to complete with this said station, and that is the Octo Brush. One more weapon left for us to use in Toastmaster Station, and that's the Octo Brush with Burst Bomb. I really need to say the obvious. This weapon's gonna be the hardest one out of the three to use simply just because of its range. But I have practiced fighting this boss already with the said weapon. This is one of the weapons that you can actually use in the single-player campaign of Splatoon 2. So because of this, you actually can fight this boss with the Octo Brush. The Jet Squelcher and the Rapid Blaster Pro are both not featured in the main single-player campaign here of Splatoon 2. But the Octo Brush is. So, if you have played through the single-player campaign with the said weapon, I'm not going to say it's going to make the boss fight way easier because of that demonstration of problems, but it does make things a lot more, okay, lack for the better terms, easier. We're going to go with that with the foot and mouth. It will make this just kind of easier to learn the said pattern if you struggle with that said boss fight in the main single-player campaign, if you want to unlock this for multiplayer mode. I did play through all of the single-player levels in Splatoon 2 with all the different weapon types, so I am familiar with using this said weapon against this boss. I was really hoping they would have pushed me in the ink armor because I did a little too much damage there. Luckily for our sake, that is going to stay up there. So if we get up to the top of the said boss, we can grab ourselves that ink armor to use for later. So we want to keep that in mind. For now, can't really do anything about this, so we'll just have to kind of live with our mistakes. Wait for the boss to come to me, paint up the side of the bread, and climb up the sides here. Use the burst bomb to go ahead and climb up very fast. Attack the main body here. Grab myself some ink armor. I'm just going to use it immediately because we're going to immediately lose it here in a second. I want to have this special. And I think I just ate it up by collecting with another one active. Sure enough. All right, well, that was a mistake. Now the snipers are going to be a problem. Thing is, in single player, there's not snipers in this boss fight normally. So that's an Octo expansion exclusive. That's going to make things a little bit harder with the Octo Brush. We can't kill these things until we're up on the body of this giant slice of bread. So we're going to have to wait things out. Wait for you to come to me. Use the Octo Brush here to your advantage to paint down a path, moving through the boss pretty fast. But you got to keep in mind of your ink consumption here because it's very easy to eat through all your ink without paying attention. So let's be very careful here not to get hit by a sprinkler on the way up. Try to destroy these things with burst bombs. Didn't really work out in our favor. Gonna go ahead and throw a burst bomb here. Charge up ink. And now start attacking things here at will. A problem here, though, is that to try to take out these ink walls with an Octo Brush, well, needless to say, that's an uphill battle. So let me see if I can get these things from down below using burst bombs instead. Charge up my ink. Close that burst bomb. Rinse and repeat. Not working that well in my favor. I'm doing my best here, but there's only so much you can do when the boss is very agile. Climb up and take care of this. Hurry up before the air 2 notice me. Got it. Perfect timing, because we just lost our set of armor. Oh, wow, that was very close. But with that, the Toastmaster Station is now 100% complete. We passed out all 3 weapon types, so with that, we don't need to come back here ever again. And with that, that also means the eye line now is all complete. So now with that, we have a choice of where we want to go. We can go kind of anywhere because we have, what, 4 different lines at this point? That's a lot of choices. But I think we'll make that choice in the next episode. Next time, Let's Play Splatoon 2 Octo Expansion. We'll make our way into a new line here in the Deep Sea Metro. I'll see you guys next time.